Well, good day, beautiful people. Beautiful people. Welcome to this very special training sponsored by Billion Dollar Mind or BDM. Now, in this training, by the way, if you're new to our trainings, we like to start all of our trainings with something that's nice and picturesque, designed to get you to dream again. We're in Lake Tahoe for our quick mental vacation break. Okay, now in this training, we're going to share with you what is the value proposition of Billion Dollar Mind. By you engaging with BDM, what is that going to do for you? How is that going to greatly impact your life from a value proposition standpoint? Then we're going to share about the Billion Dollar Mind generational wealth platform. Now, listen, I get it. Some folks are just looking for a few extra hundreds of dollars per month. Others are looking for a few extra thousands of dollars per month. Still, others are looking for a complete lifestyle change. Well, we're going to share with you that our generational wealth model can really allow you to leave an inheritance, not just for your children, but for your children's children. And that's what the proverb talks about, leaving an inheritance for our children's children. So whether you want a few extra hundreds of dollars a month, a few extra thousands of dollars a month, a complete lifestyle change, or if you want to leave an inheritance for your children's children, you will find that all in our generational wealth model. Okay, so with that being said, hopefully you have enjoyed your quick mental vacation break in Lake Tahoe. Let's go to work. Hey, family. So let's go to work again. We want to share with you Billion Dollar Mind. We want to share the value proposition as well as the generational wealth model that we have here. We want to say welcome home. Welcome home, particularly if you have been in this make money online niche, make money from home niche. Perhaps you're new to the make money from home, make money online space. There's a lot of opportunities out there. Um, but we want to welcome you home, a company that is led with integrity and with character. One of the challenges in this make money from home, make money online niche is that the niche puts the cart before the horse. Well, what is the cart? The cart is the income opportunity. The horse is the value proposition. So we want to put it in its proper place. Is the income opportunity important? Yes. Yes. If we were talking in basketball terms, the income opportunity side is the Scottie Pippen. The value proposition is Michael Jordan. What value do we bring to you in Billion Dollar Mind? Because once you see the value, then the income opportunity will take care of itself. All right. So, what's our value proposition? It is our four pillars of faith that when you apply these four pillars of faith, you will begin to experience transformation in those areas that are most important to you: personal transformation, transformation in relationships, transformation in your finances, transformation in your health. What are the four pillars of faith? Number one, gratitude or great attitude. Number two, vision. We want to write the vision. We want to make it plain. One of my mentors would often say, you can never hit a target that you cannot see. So if we don't have a vision, if we haven't written the vision out, if we haven't made the vision plain, what is it that we want to accomplish? What is it? Who is that person that we want to be? And so you're going to find that out in Billion Dollar Mind. As a matter of fact, I'm going to strongly suggest that you spend time daily. I love the faith meditation that we have here at Billion Dollar Mind. I can tell you there's a big difference when I start my day off with that or when I don't. Vision, write the vision, make it plain. Three is feeling. Surrounding ourselves with the feeling. What will it feel like when our vision comes to fruition, when we've hit that target, when we've met that goal? And then number four, affirmations. Making Firm, affirming, making firm that which was not firm. Why wasn't it firm? Because we didn't have the right mental attitude, gratitude, because we didn't have the vision clearly set before us, because we weren't taking time out every day to really feel, get it in our heart, stoking those flames of desire, not just a wish, but stoking those flames of desire, and then affirming, calling those things that were not as though they are, speaking life to those things that we want to speak life to. Okay, so that's our value proposition. When we apply, learn, and apply these four pillars of faith, you are sure to begin to see transformation in the areas that are most important to you. Now, we know that one area that is extremely important to most individuals is financial transformation. Okay, so now let's pivot and talk about this generational wealth model. First off, I want to share a little bit about Bitcoin. Now, if you're not yet in the cryptocurrency space, you want to be in this space. Okay. Um, Bitcoin is the leader of this space. Years ago, our visionary mentor who leads the charge here at Billion Dollar Mind was introduced to Bitcoin when Bitcoin was just 5 cents a Bitcoin, a nickel. Okay. Now, if he had just purchased $1,000 worth of Bitcoin at 5 cents, that would have been 20,000 Bitcoin. Now, if he had held on to that, he did it. He did it. He didn't get the vision. I didn't get the vision when I first heard about Bitcoin and I bought it for 5.15. I didn't get the vision then. Okay, all right. But I want you to see if he had just bought $1,000 worth of Bitcoin and held on to that Bitcoin to now, what that would be worth. So $1,000 worth of Bitcoin when it was going for 5 cents, that would have been 20,000 Bitcoin. Now, this is what Bitcoin is valued at right now as I'm doing this recording. I just pulled this chart. $66,444.92. If he had held on to, if he had bought it, which he didn't at 5 cents, and had held on to it right now, he would have a $1.3 billion net worth just in Bitcoin. Billion dollar mind. Well, now, the train left the station with Bitcoin a long time ago in terms of those types of gargantuan potential returns. Might it go to 100,000? Might it go to 150,000? Sure. That type of explosive growth in Bitcoin is gone. But there are other assets in the space that they are saying will have gargantuan returns. One of them is an asset called Flare. And that's what we're using for our financial model. It will be flare in and flare out, meaning our payouts are going to be in Flare. Now, Flare, you'll learn a lot more about Flare. But listen, if you're brand new to the cryptocurrency market, don't worry about it. Okay. We'll take you by the hand. We'll show you how all this stuff works to get go from fiat money, from cash, all right, into crypto. All right. And then obviously, you're going to, as you receive payouts, convert some of your flair into usable, spendable cash. But our goal, our vision, right? The vision, make it plain. Our vision here at Billion Dollar Mind is ultimately to help every single one of our folks amass a minimum of 1 million flair. Now, can we guarantee that? Obviously not. A lot of that's going to have to do with you. But that's our vision. We're writing that vision, making it plain. Why a million flair? Because while Flair right now is going for 2 cents, some pundits are saying Flair could get to $40,000 a Flair. 40,000. Now listen, if you have a million Flair after you've converted your payouts Flair into usable spendable cash, but you've accumulated so much Flair through our generational wealth model that you still have a million. And let's say that Flair doesn't get anywhere to the 40,000 that some folks are saying. It gets to $4. Well, if you've got a million Flair at $4, that's 4 million. Maybe it doesn't get to 40,000, it gets to $40 a Flair. Well, if you have a million Flair at $40 a Flair, that's 40 million. So whether you're just looking for a few extra hundreds of dollars per month, a few extra thousands of dollars per month, or a complete lifestyle change where you could leave an inheritance for your children's children, you have found a home in Billion Dollar Mind. So let's show you now how all of this works. Billion Dollar Mind's generational wealth plan is a donation plan. And so what happens here, the beautiful part is you don't have a bill. There's no monthly subscriptions, okay? There are low, medium, and high ticket donation packages, which means there are low, medium, and high ticket donation payouts. Now, this is the kick backside part. I would say kick butt, but my mom wouldn't want me to say that. There is an 80% payout to one person. So when a donation is made, 80% of that donation goes to the field, but it only goes to one person. And why is that important? Well, one of the challenges in the traditional marketing space, the make money from home, make money online niche, let's say, for instance, it's a company that's got a great nutritional product, okay? So you love that nutritional product. The problem is it costs money to create the product. And as a result, the margins on that are going to be much lower. So the company, in many cases, can only afford to pay out 35 to maybe 50% to the field. So it's a lower payout percentage. Then usually in the make money online niche or make money from home niche, the lowered payout percentage is then split amongst several people. It might be 5 or 6 or sometimes even 10 people, further diluting the amount that a person actually makes. And so if you're not this gargantuan team builder, and in many cases you've got a monthly subscription, all right, a lot of times people don't even make enough money to afford their monthly subscription, so then they drop out and they quit. Well, let's do away with the monthly subscriptions and let's have low, medium, high ticket donation packages and payouts, but let's pay out the overwhelming lion's share to one person instead of it being diluted. Some more highlights here. Unlimited width, unlimited depth payouts. You'll see what that means in a few moments. Folks, there could be a single payout ranging from the low end $8 to as high as $16,000 to one person. Remember, an 80% payout to one person. The beautiful part is that payouts are going to be made in Flair and they will be available upon demand. So somebody makes a donation in Flair, you get the donation, 80% of that donation goes to your back office. You go in your back office, you see, oh, you've got Flair there. You can click a button and that can immediately go to your DeFi wallet. DeFi stands for Decentralized Finance Wallet. What is that? That is basically your own crypto bank. You're not waiting for a weekly payout or a monthly payout. Just as soon as a donation is credited to you, you can click on that button on demand and have your Flair delivered right to your wallet. And again, we'll make sure that you understand, well, how do you then take the Flair when you need to convert some or all of your Flair into usable, spendable cash? We'll make sure you understand how to do all of that. So here are the donation options. Here are the donation amounts. There's a $10 donation option for which $8 is paid out to one person. $50 of which $40 is paid out to one person. $100, $80 is paid out to one person, so on and so forth. Okay. All right. So these are individual donation options. Our generational wealth model is based upon the universal law that we reap what we sow, number one. Number two, we've got to sow to reap. And number three, we reap so much more than what we sow. And what does that mean? Well, if you do a $10 donation, you are qualified to receive donations of $10, of which you would get 8. But if you do a $10 donation and a $50 donation, you are now qualified to receive a $10 donation and a $50 donation, of which you would get the 8 and the 40. Okay. And so each one of these are individual separate donation steps. Would you want to do $10 and then jump down to the 1,000? No, you would want to do the 10, the 50, the 100, the 250, so on and so forth. So everyone's going to start with a donation amount that makes sense for them. Now, you're going to hear us say this a lot. If you can't afford to lose it, you can't afford to donate it. If you can't afford to lose it, you can't afford to donate it. At the same time, you want to start off with the highest donation amounts that make sense for you and your family so that you are immediately qualified to receive donations in those amounts. We then have these donations here. All right. And so this is where we get into the low ticket was a $10, a $50 donation. Then we've got the medium ticket, let's say, that $500, $1,000, $2,500 ticket. And then we have the high ticket donation packages, the 5,000. Look at that. You're qualified, let's say for the 5,000 donation uh, um, payouts to you, you would get $4,000. Someone donates $5,000 to you, you get $4,000 of that. Okay. All right. All the way up through 20,000. And that's where that $16,000 single payout comes from. But let's just spend a little moment here. Okay. Our aim is for you to ultimately accumulate at least 1,000,000 flare. So all of these payouts are going to be in flare. So let's say that in time you are qualified through the entire structure, the 10, the 50, the 100, the 250, all the way through the 20,000. Now, most people are not going to come off the street and get qualified from day one, making all of those donations. What most people are going to do is they're going to start their donations with what makes sense for them. You do want to start with as much of a donation amounts that as makes sense for you and your family. So if that is the 10, the 50, the 100, the 250, the 500, the 1,000, that's $1,910 when you do the math there. Then great. Okay. All right. Now, let's say that in time you've qualified for the entire donation tree. All right. Going all the way up to the 20,000. Look at what would happen here. You now have someone donating to you and they qualify for the entire tree. What would that mean? That means that you would have gotten the $8 when they did the $10 donation, the 40, the 80. You see what I'm doing? I'm just simply going down. When they do the $250 donation, you get $200. All right. And I want to add it all up so you can see with just one person connected to you what this could all mean. Okay. All right. Then the 400. Someone donated 500, you got 400. Someone donates 1,000, you get 800. Okay. Let's go to the next page here. So we're up to 1528. Whoops. Sorry about that. All right, and continue. So now someone donates 2,500, you get 2,000, you get 4,000, you're qualified, let's say, in time for all of this, you get 6,000, you get 8,000, you get 12,000, you get 16,000. Ladies and gentlemen, just one person connected to you. Let's assume in time you've gone through all of the steps. They've gone through all of the steps. One person connected to you could be $49,528 in donations to you from one person. Okay? All right. And by the way, let's say that that happened in flare and flare, it took a while before it exploded, that would be far more than 1,000,000 flare, wouldn't it? So see, when I show you 1,000,000 flare here, if that had happened based on flare right now being 2 cents, okay, you could have converted well more than 50% of what you generated into usable, spendable cash and still have our target of a minimum of 1,000,000 flare. All right, now let's talk about the structure. Okay, so this is Sue. Now, let's have you be Sue for the time being, okay? So this is Sue, and let's say, she's getting value added. She's learning these principles of faith. She's applying these principles of faith. And so she shares with others. Maybe it's this video she shares. Maybe she invites someone to one of our live Zooms where we go in detail into these 4 principles of faith. And there's plenty of content that you'll be able to share with others to provide value for them, so they'll want to come and take a look. All right, so Sue refers a few people. She refers Jorge. Now remember, every person that's connected to Sue could be worth just under $50,000 in time. Okay, every person that you refer, every person that I refer, that's connected to me, that's connected to you, could be worth up to $50,000, just under $50,000. But it's going to get better than that. She also refers Sasha. She refers Becky. She refers Paul. She refers Rodney. And she refers Elizabeth. Okay? All right. So in time, she's referred a few folks. Now, let's also put the donation amounts here so that can be in front of you. And I'm going to assume that when Sue got started here, she doesn't come off the street and do all the donations. All right. But maybe she comes off the street. Maybe she does these right here. Now, for the person who says, well, what's the sweet spot? If I want to get to the point where I'm consistently uh, generating, let's say, a few extra thousands of dollars per month, what's a good starting point? I think this is a really good starting point. If that doesn't work for you, don't do it. All right. This is a really good starting point because it's a 10, the 50, the 100, the 250, the 500, and the 1,000. That's 1910. But that qualifies you that if just one person does the same thing that's connected to you, you may also hear us say coded to you, you get these corresponding donations to you. And this comes up to $1,528 in Flare. Now, I'll try to remember to say in Flare. All right. If I don't remember to say in Flare, if I say $1,528 or $1,528, I'm saying that 1528 or whatever the amount is in Flare because we're all paid in Flare. Okay. So I like this amount. For a lot of people starting a business, if you were starting a business, you'd be well over $2,000 anyway. This keeps you where a lot of people can do that. But even if you have to start here, start there. If you can start here, start there. What makes sense to you? All right. So now let's go back to the people that Sue referred. She referred Jorge. So Sue's first referral here is Jorge, in that Jorge is the first person that made a donation. Okay. And so Jorge is connected to Sue. So his donation is going to go to Sue. Now, the second person that Sue refers is Sasha. Now, why do I have her smaller here? The reason being is the second person that makes a donation is going to donate up. So Jorge's donation goes to Sue. Sasha's donation is going to go up. What do I mean by that? Upstream. So it could be Sue's referrer. Whoever Sue is connected to is who Sasha's donations are going to go to. So, all right, whoever that person is, this person up here, Sue's connected to this person right here. Okay. So Sasha's donations goes to that person. So the first person that you have that makes a donation, their donations go to you. They are connected to you. You may also hear me say coded to you. Now, the second person is going to be connected upstream or coded upstream. Their donations will go to whoever you are connected to. Now, third person, Becky in this example, Becky's donations are going to go to you. So your first and your third are connected to you. Your fourth, Paul in this example, he's connected upstream. All right. So his donations go upstream. So so far, Jorge's donations go to you. Becky's donations go to you. Sasha's second and Paul fourth, their donations go upstream. Now, what about your fifth or your sixth or your 17th? From your fifth on, they're all connected to you. So in this case, Rodney is connected to you. Elizabeth is connected to you. So what do we have? Your first, connected to you. Your third, connected to you. Your fifth, your sixth, your seventh, your 18th, your 171st, all connected to you. This is a sowing reaping model. We reap what we sow. We've got to sow to reap, but we reap so much more than what we sow. So our sowing was Sasha and Paul the fourth. Who's connected to you? The first, the third, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, whatever. Okay. Who's connected to who you're connected to? Your second and your fourth. Okay. Now let's get into just how huge this could be. So for the purposes of this example, I'm assuming that Sue started with what I like to call the sweet spot. Okay. The 10, 50, 100, 250, 500, 1000. I'm assuming that Jorge and Becky and Rodney and Elizabeth did the same. All right. Because those are the folks that are making donations to Sue. Each one of those, if they did that, is 1,528 in flair coming to Sue. By now, we know that Jorge, Becky, Rodney, and Elizabeth on this screen are all connected to Sue. Now, Jorge, let's say he starts to refer others. So he refers his first, his second, his third, his fourth. Well, what happens? Well, his first, just like Jorge is Sue's first, is going to donate to Jorge. But his second and his fourth all are donating to Sue. But it doesn't stop there. This person's second and fourth. This person's second and fourth. Doesn't stop there. This person's second and fourth. 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 Doesn't stop there. This person's second and fourth, 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 and that goes to an unlimited depth. Same thing over here with Becky. Her first is going to donate to Becky. Her second is going to donate to Sue. Her third, Becky. Fourth, Sue. Now, if Becky has a fifth, sixth, 17th, 18th, they all donate to Becky. But her second and fourth, and Rodney's second and fourth, and Elizabeth's second and fourth, and then their second and fourth, and 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 their second and fourth, and 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 second and fourth, second and fourth, all to an unlimited depth. All donate to who? Sue. What's the universal law? We reap what we sow. We've got to sow to reap our second and fourth. But when we reap so much more than what we sow. Here, Jorge, Becky, Rodney, Elizabeth, and their second and fourth, 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 to an unlimited depth. Now, I want that to sink in, just how powerful that is. And this is how you go from wherever you may be in terms of getting started to now being able to, from profits, to step up to the larger amounts. So that ultimately we want to get you qualified for all of it. Because what that means is that if any of these folks that are connected to you, whether it's Jorge, whether it's Becky, whether it's Rodney, whether it's Elizabeth, whether it's this second and fourth, or that second and fourth, or this person way down here, or that person way down there, okay? So again, I want us to see just how powerful this is. This is in keeping with universal law. Universal law says we reap what we sow. We've got to sow to reap. So we sowed here, Sasha and Paul, second and fourth. But when we reap so much more than what we sowed. And so let's just assume here that Sue started off here. And that means that any of these folks, Jorge, Becky, Rodney, Elizabeth, second and fourth, second and fourth, second and fourth, second and fourth, and they're second and fourth and second and fourth and second and fourth to an unlimited depth. All right. Now, is everybody going to start here? No. Some are going to start right here. Some are going to do the 10, 50, and the 100. Some are going to do this and start over here. But ultimately, the goal, the vision, is to get everybody progressing here, not coming off the street. Do whatever you can as you come off the street, but then progress up with some of the surplus donations that you have. Progress up so that you're qualified. Now, look at this. Now, let's say this person way down here progresses all the way through the tree. You've progressed all the way through the tree. They progress all the way through the tree. They make a donation all the way through the tree. You get 16,000. But before they made this $20,000 donation, they also made the 15,000. So you got that 12,000 before. And before they made this 15,000, they made the 10,000. You got the 8,000 before. So once again, as I shared earlier, each person connected to you could be worth just under 50,000 in donations. Just under. I think that was 49,000 and some change. Okay? Just under. So folks, before we come to a close on this training, I want to share one other major piece. So we showed you in this example that Sue referred 6 folks. So whether she referred 6 folks or 700 or what have you, okay, there's no limit to the number of folks that Sue can refer. What if Sue doesn't refer 6? What if all she did was referred Jorge? We know that if Jorge is the first person that she referred that made a donation, then he's connected to her. Now, let's assume that right now she hasn't referred anyone else, okay? She hasn't referred anyone else. But Jorge still refers, in this example, 4. Now, he might refer a 5th or 17th or what have you, all right? Now, we know that the first person that he refers is going to donate to him. The second person, let's say this is Melinda, is going to donate to Sue. Third person is going to donate to Jorge. Fourth person, let's say this is Raul, donates to Sue. Now, I want you to see just how powerful that was. In this example, all she did was referred Jorge. And yet, Jorge, he goes out. In this example, he's referred 4 folks. But now Melinda, her second and fourth. Raul, his second and fourth. Now, why Melinda and Raul? Because this is Jorge's second. Melinda is Jorge's second. Raul is Jorge's fourth. They're connected to Sue or connected to you in this example. And so now Melinda's second and fourth. And they're second and fourth and 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 second and fourth to an unlimited depth. Why is that important? Because it means that my Joe average and my Sue Average have a real shot. Even if you're not the grand poobah referrer yourself, you have a shot. And all of these folks, to an unlimited depth, their second and fourth, would all donate to Sue. Now do you see more of the vision to get you to where you have at least $1 million flare? I want you to sit in that for a moment. Right now, flare's a couple pennies. What if you have $1 million flare and in time flare is $4? They're saying it could get to 40,000. We're nowhere close to 40,000. If it's $4 and you got $1 million flare, there's $4 million in value right there. If it's 4,000 and you've got $2 million in flare, that's $8 million in value right there. This isn't some little another hum business model. No, this could generate generational wealth for you and your family, because a good man, the proverb says, a good woman leaves an inheritance for his children's children. Flare goes to 40 and you got $1 million flare. What if flare goes to 100 and you've got $1 million flare? Nowhere close to 4,000. Billion dollar mind. If you had $1 million flare and flare got to 100, nowhere close to 4,000. Billion dollar mind. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not sure where you're seeing this particular training. You might be seeing it where there's a clear call to action. Follow that call to action. You might be seeing this on YouTube or what have you. Get back to the person that got you this training and ask them, demand that they get you their link so that you can get registered. You can get set up to make your first donation. You can start getting out your registration link. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, let's transform the world together, starting with yours.